talk about co-listing, right?
Yeah.
When you're teaching, and when we teach, it's all different kinds of people in the room.
Right.
Okay. So you want to talk about that strategy a little?
Definitely. I think it's an underutilized tool, co-listing properties. I haven't shied away from it myself. I'm 17 years experienced. I teach around the country, and I still will co-list in a heartbeat if it makes more sense to do it than to try to go after it myself. And my saying is I can sell a house anywhere.
Yep.
Right. But if I don't know the best schools in the neighborhood, if I don't know the best place to get a craft beer or burger, then I need to co-list because we're selling lifestyle. We're selling that aspect of the business and of the community. And so I reach out, I collaborate with other agents, and even for younger, less experienced agents who are either transitioning into real estate or transitioning into a higher price point or transitioning into a luxury market, it's one of the best ways you can go is by co-listing with an experienced agent in that area.
What's the first time you did it? Tell us about that. Go way back in the annals of Kofi.
Good question. Let me think. The first time that I co-listed a property. That's a good question. I'm trying to think because I've been
17 years is a long time.
It's a long time. It's a long time.
What pops into your head of like, wow, this really worked for me?
It worked. That's a good one. It's a good one. I've done it so many times. I can't remember the early times. But I'll give you an easy example. I had a sports entertainment client and they had a property to sell in a neighborhood that I hadn't sold much. And this was earlier in my real estate career. So I'm in LA, my office is in Beverly Hills. There are 100 places you can get to that are 3, 4, 5 miles on a map that are 45 minutes to an hour and a half in traffic, right? So it doesn't mean that you actually service those areas and service them well. So I called on this other agent that I knew and respected, and we co-listed the property. And it did a couple of things. One, it saved on my commute because I didn't have to drive there every time myself. 2, he had a level of area expertise that was a value add to the client. So it made us shine and made us look really good. And then 3, I had a glimpse into the expertise of another agent. Like, how did he work? How did his team work? What was his follow-up like? What was his cadence with the client like? And I was able to steal some of those nuggets for myself. Fast forward to literally not even 2 years after that, we did 5 more deals together. Wow. He called on me for things that were on my side of town. I continued to call on him for other things out there. And that collaboration just made sense. Even from a leverage standpoint, it made sense. So I would say that's an example of one that really worked well.
That's great. And it turned into so much more.
So much more. So we're in escrow on a deal right now. He's on the other side. We're not co-listing it,
right? But
it's exactly that. He's someone that I've known, and this is 8, 9 years.
Have you known? 8, 9 years.
Yeah.
And so now you're sitting in the situation that we talked about initially, which is you're on the other side.
I'm on the other side.
But you've worked closely with him. You have a relationship with him. How is that deal going?
It's going very well.
Good.
With the agents, with the clients. As I think about it. Yeah. But it's really interesting. We're in a great place. For those who know real estate, all contingencies are removed. So it's new construction. So we're still dealing with some city stuff, getting the gas turned on, little things like that. But early on, the bumps in the road were not from the agents. They were from contentious moments with the clients. Sure. But because of my relationship with them, we were able to navigate that. And it was very interesting because you don't see this too often, and I probably won't see it too much even moving forward, but I knew his client as well. So even as it got really bumpy with him and his client, he was like, why don't you reach out to him?
Nice.
Wow. And so I couldn't give him specific guidance because, there's a fiduciary responsibility. Yes. But it was interesting because his client really just needed to vent to someone other than him. Right. So I got on the phone. I didn't even have to give him guidance. I just listened. I was like, you're right. No, that does suck. You're right. You're right. No, well, we're going to get it done. That's kind of how my side of the call was. That was it. But it worked and it moved us forward.
Sure.
And that was that agent to agent relationship and
I think
trust.
everyone's thinking what I'm thinking, which is either it's a really small world or everyone.
Definitely not. It is though, but it is a small world.
Yes.
I definitely don't know everyone, but you'd be surprised how many people know you that you don't realize know you. And so you have to be careful. And this is a long game. I tell agents that a lot too. It's a long game. It's about your reputation. and your reputation can be diminished in a moment. So these relationships that we have with agents and these relationships that we have with our clients, we have to preserve those and always try to do what's right.
So that kind of brings us to the topic of reputation management. Okay. And so you can be proactive about that by going in your database and talking to these folks in a more proactive way. But how do you really, in this world of social media, and when someone can post things about you and someone can do all of those things, can you give us some tips or more Kofi-isms around reputation management?
Yeah, I think, one of my Kofi-isms around social media in general is the question you have to ask yourself is, would I hire my social media profile?
That's good. That's a good one.
Because when people Google you for SEO, if you're not familiar with it, search engine optimization, for SEO, social media is really highly ranked.
Oh, yeah.
So your Instagram, your LinkedIn profile, Facebook, those are going to pop up usually on the first page every time. And so what you're posting matters in terms of your reputation. And you have to take it with a grain of salt. Like you're going to laugh at this, but as a mission for 2020, I want more people not to like me because I've been too nice to too many people for too long, which means I'm not being, totally authentic, right? But you have to also realize, right, that you're not going to make everyone happy and everyone's not going to like you. But if you've done what's right, your reputation won't suffer. I've had people that, I've gone in, I've tried to help. I've tried to, help them either with their careers or given them a chance with my team, and they turn around and want to badmouth me.
Yep.
But there's nothing to support what they're saying other than maybe their feelings were hurt because I either let them go from my team or, things like that. But you have to really be mindful of, the actual actions you take, the emails you send, the text messages you send. All of these things can come back to bite you.